Hi everyone, I am back. This is a take two because the first time I did this video it was blurry. So this is my second video in this house. The first one I uploaded 2 weeks ago, I believe, and it was me moving into this house and setting up and everything. So I have not recorded since then, and I'm sorry about that. So it's been a long time with no C, so here I am. So last video I did say partway through the video that I had an incident with the tap in the kitchen and it had come off the wall or out of the wall, I don't know what you call it. So I shall do a little story time with you about that incident. So, what had happened was Nathan and Stacey had left the house to drop a friend off at a station a couple of suburbs down, and I was left alone. Now, I've been left alone many a time, but this one time was not a good time to be left alone. So I was setting up and I decided, hey, I need to water a cactus, because although they don't need a lot of water, they probably need more than what I had been giving them. So I went into the kitchen, and because I don't have a saucer that will catch the water when the pot drains it out of the soil, I decided, well, I'll go into the kitchen, I'll put some water from the tap into it, and I'll let it drain in the sink. So I went into the kitchen, all was fine at this point. I'd put the water into the pot and I went to turn the tap off. Now, these are not a normal tap. They are not like a normal tap. You twist it around and then you twist it back. Like, you know, you can, I don't know, you can fully twist it. But these are like quarter turn. So you turn them a quarter or the way around and they won't go further. With this incident, I went to turn it back off and it just got less heavy in the water flow. It didn't turn off completely, it was still running. And then I was like, okay. So I kept like turning it back and forth and it wasn't working. And then eventually it just blew out of the wall. So when the tap is on and the tap spindle and all, I had no clue what a spindle is, but I found out that day, spindle and all come out the wall, the water flows out of the pipe and straight out the wall, and it's quite a high pressure, a lot of water coming out. And I freaked out. I had no idea what to do. So I thought, okay, like this was like 5 minutes of me like, what the hell do I do? I was trying to block the water. I clogged it with a tea towel and some rubber dishwashing gloves. And I ran outside and I thought, I think there's something to do with the water out in the backyard. So I ran there and it was the hot water system, so that was not very helpful. So I ran back in, I checked on it, I ran to my room because I didn't have my phone with me, which was not great, so now I know why I need to take my phone to the sink. And I grabbed it, ran back and rang my parents, because who else do you ring in this situation? And I said, this is what happened. I was freaking out, I was like in tears. I'm like, what do I do? No one's home. I don't know, the water's flowing out, it's going everywhere. Dad was like, oh, we'll try and put the tap back into the wall and twist it back in, but that wasn't working. And there was just like, when I moved the stuff away from the piping, it was flowing everywhere. And then like trying to shove the tap back in, just there was too much water for it to go back in, or something wasn't working. So I was like, okay, this isn't working, what else can I do? There was a tap for the water main out in the front garden bed, but that did not have an actual handle, so I could not turn it off. even if I managed to get there. By this point, like, it wasn't, the tea towels, if I weren't holding them, they weren't working. Like, they would have just blown off the wall and water would have gone everywhere. So I had to call our landlord and family friend, and he was like, okay, he lives like 30 minutes away. I will drive there immediately and go and try and turn the tap off with a shifter or something. And so that's what he did. But I was there for about an hour or something, just trying to block the water. Like, what do I do? I can't do anything. It was stressful. There was water running down the wall and into the cupboards and onto the floor. And because the floor slopes, it started to run towards the floorboards that were new. And I was worried that the water was gonna get under the floorboards and warp it. So it was a stressful time. And meanwhile, no one was home and no one was gonna be home. I didn't know when everyone was gonna get back. I had rang someone, and my sister-in-law was not with my brother, so he was driving, so I couldn't ring him, and he was the one that was going to be back, and he had stopped at the chemist apparently. So it was a disaster, and I never wanted to have to deal with that, and I never expected to, but this is what happened. And by the time Gary, which was a family friend / landlord, came, the water, like, there was a good pool of water all on the kitchen floor, and I was drenched because the water had sprayed me numerous times whilst I was trying to put pots underneath and so on. But he turned the water off, and I don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. The tap just came out. It was like an explosion, and there were missing bits of the tap, but we never found, so I don't know what happened. Maybe it went down the pipes. And we eventually got a new tap, and the water was cleared up, and the floorboards have not warped. The lino does not smell, so hopefully all is good. But what I've learned is take your phone to the kitchen sink, just in case, because in those sort of instances, I can't really leave the sink to get the phone. Another thing I learned was don't ever have quarter turn taps. I hate them. I've learned that I never want them. I didn't know they were a thing, but now I know why. They're not much of a thing. Now I know why no one has them and why I never want to have them again. But I've got them, so it hasn't happened since, and I'm hoping that it won't. There is now a handle on the water main outside, which I can turn off if that happens again. I'm hoping it does not, and if it does, then hopefully it's not me dealing with it, or someone else is home, so I don't have to stress on my own and not be able to do anything because I can't leave the sink. So yes, it was a stressful time, but it was like a welcoming for me from the house, or for all of us, but mainly me probably. Yes, so that is what happened, and that's why I was like, there was so much of a gap between filming on that day, because I was out there for a long time and I was just stressed. I was so stressed. That is all. So that's my story. So that is all for the video. If you have had anything like that happen to you, like the tap fly off the wall somehow, or an issue with the water, or something that has happened that's kind of disastrous when you move into a new place, you should comment down below and let me know, share your experiences with me so I know I'm not alone. And that is all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I will hopefully have another video up for you on Tuesday. I'm hoping to get this up today, so hopefully. So if you haven't already, yes, subscribe to my channel, like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.